What is a relationship to you? I'm very curious as to everybody's um, perception of everybody's view of what a relationship is. I'm talking about any sort of relationship. There's plenty of titles for these kinds of things. There's friendships, there's romantic relationships, also considered conventional relationships, the conventional romantic relationship. There's relationships with family, friends that become family, you know, just like what is a relationship to you? How is that defined? It more than likely, if I'm to interject and answer the question immediately, um, of course, I would like to believe that everybody's definition of a relationship will be pretty similar, if not the same, you know, as in, someone who loves me, someone who, you know, shares my values, someone who, respects me, someone who this, and that, this, and that. Not to dismiss, but you know what I'm getting at. And I'm asking this question, I'm wondering this because um, me, myself, hi, my name is Darius. Me, myself, the idea of romantic relationships or conventional romantic relationships has been destroyed. And I find that to be a negative thing, but I also find it to be a positive thing. It just makes me think about things a lot different. Makes me think about things a little bit differently. I said a lot different, and a little bit differently. Ha ha ha. Whatever the case may be. You know what I'm getting at. Um, it makes me think about these things differently because now, how I view relationships mostly as just friendships, and this is where um, that concept of friends with benefits comes in, where people want the casuality, they just want the friendship with the sex. And upon things that I've learned, I would say that upon the things I began to learn and began to think about, you know, circa 2024, you know, I began to realize and understand why people have that. And one reason that I realized and figured out is that um, this is subjective, but I feel once I say it may be objective, may be fact, but it's objective to those who it is, and it's subjective to those who's not. Um, that's not what I meant. I meant to say it's objective to those who it is, it's subjective to those who it is, and thus the opposite. Anyways, what I figured out is that the relationship with oneself, of course, is the most important relationship. Self love is the best love. You know, um, dang, that there's a song that says those exact words on ah, ah, talking about Dreamville by by that group of artists called Dreamville. Kind of J. Cole's version of what Tyler the Creator did. His whole group. That was J. Cole's group, Dreamville, and I'll remember if that's the I think that's the third installment of that series. Anyways, self love is the best love, and what people are beginning to figure out is excuse me, I'm sorry. Wow. Is that people do not love you like you love you. And, then we get to begin talking about being an individual. You know, uh, you learn differently, you do things differently. I mean, I realized after a while that I did, because there are certain things that I did. I just did not go along with the status quo, and for the longest time, it didn't seem to make any sense. And I suffered because of that. Because I was like, why am I doing things differently than everybody else? Why can't I just adapt to some of these standards? But then I realized it's because some of these standards are whack. All due respect. Well, I'm not going to get specific with that right now. That's for another video. All I'm getting at is, oh man, sheesh, like it's crazy. It's crazy doing this. It's crazy. All to say. Yeah, when you get to learning about yourself as an individual, I mean, it's straightforward. You're learning yourself as an individual, so okay, this is what I can do in group settings. This is what I can do in these certain situations, because I have these strengths and these non-strengths, weaknesses, right? And this and that, and that's basic right there. I feel like everybody knows that, or everybody should know that. And if you don't know, now you know. There you go. It is what it is. Point that I'm trying to make is, back to the original question: what is a relationship to you? What is a relationship to you? It's essentially a relationship to yourself. And if you can't find that externally, which in truth, well, in half truth, let's say it like this, in half truth, there's no relationship with anybody else except the relationship with yourself. If you are just not trusting as a person, right? You're distrustful, right? Any relationship that you have, you're not going to trust anybody. That's because that's the relationship you have with yourself, and that developed at some point in your life. Where, why, with who did you wrong? Lots of people today say we have trust issues. It's very rampant because, get into why that is too. See, the thing about it is, when it comes to trust issues, we, and to Oh, yeah. Okay, I was saying that that feeling of not trusting somebody, it came from somewhere. Where did it come from? Why do you feel that way? Who made you feel that way? Because trust issues run rampant in our society. And that comes from the belief that we are owed friendship. We are owed love. We are owed those sort of relationships like everybody else has, when according to the universe, hey, ain't nobody owe you shit. Let's keep it real. Ain't nobody owe you anything. And pardon me for cursing. My bad. I don't mean to curse, but that's just what felt real at the moment. No, ain't nobody owe you nothing. Don't nobody owe you a goddamn thing. All due respect, I'm just saying, because that comes at that comes at that comes at a price for some people. Some people want. I mean, now here's the thing: laws accentuate that we get what we get for whatever it is that we're doing. Laws do. And there are also universal laws as well. I'd have to get back with you on that and make a separate video on that. But man-made laws accentuate, that okay, we're gonna get something from this, right? But universal laws do the same thing for the universe. But anything outside of those universal laws and man-made laws are outside of universal laws to a degree, because man-made laws can be broken easy. I mean, how many people do you see speeding beyond the speed limit? I mean, shit, right? So man-made laws are outside of universal laws, so they can be broken, such as any other law. The only laws that cannot be broken are universal laws. Those are the only laws that can be broken, or cannot be broken is what I meant to say. They cannot be broken. Straight up. So, what do relationships really mean to you? Are you an individual? Do you see yourself as such? I see myself as such. I've operated in a way that kind of has put me in that spot for a long time, even sometimes in isolation. Sometimes it's not healthy, but I've managed. I'm still here right now, so as far as that goes, what are you getting at in your life? What do your relationships mean to you? Are you struggling in your relationships? Are your relationships fruitful? Like, what is it all to you? What does it all mean to you? What is it doing for you? Because at the end of the day, everything is feeding back to you. People talk about being selfish, and people talk about being selfless. There's always an ebb and flow. It's just two different rates. I've learned such a term of rates of vibration, but it's two different feelings. It's two different energies. But when you realize that everything is one and everything is everything, Lauryn Hill, right? Then you begin to understand that, oh, okay, this is no different than that. It really isn't. All it is it's just a different title, a different this, a different that. And people have different feelings, according to such. Different feelings and different frequencies build up within their mind due to such. That's it. I probably should make a shorter video. I'll probably get a little bit more views. I mean, sheesh, I'm just being conscious of this algorithm. I'm like, wow. And whatever. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I have a habit of apologizing a lot. Anyways, whatever. Back to the point. What are your relationships to you? What do they mean to you? Who means the most to you? Why do they mean the most to you? Have you ever asked yourself certain questions about why certain people are around you and what are they doing for you? What are they doing to you? I'm not trying to get insertive. I'm not trying to insert myself into anybody's business or life with that sort of question or questioning. Just is what it is. I was just curious because I'm going through something similar in my life currently, and I'm hashing things out. I'm just working with myself here. Well, See ya.